Hello, everybody. My name is Ben. This is Ben's Weather Tech and Adventures, and we're coming to you with a live stream on the China coronavirus, now officially named COVID-19, I think. And I'm going to show you the numbers and stuff. I just want to get the chat up on my phone. Sorry. Okay. Ben. This is Ben's Weather Tech. Okay, good thing the sound is working. Okay, now I now have the chat on, so you guys can write in the live chat. But I'm starting now because we're supposed to get an update in about half an hour. Now, we'll get into what happened yesterday because there have been so many developments since I last streamed about this, which was probably several days ago, I think. Yeah, I didn't stream yesterday because I was at school late, and I came home, and there was all this stuff going on. So we're going to talk about that. So if you can see, you may be like looking at the title, wait a sec, 60,000 cases. You are correct. There were more than 60,000 cases and 1,370 deaths. So basically what happened yesterday was the number of cases. I want to put this in a new tab so I don't go out of it. Basically what happened yesterday is this. There were this huge number of cases, I think like 15,000 cases from the place where Wuhan is in China. And what happened was they started counting suspected cases as regular cases. So they had to add all these cases. And that's why the number went so high yesterday. It added 15,000 cases. So that's how we got to 60,000. So what started happening is they're now adding suspected cases as well as regular cases, and these were done, I think, with CT scans, and they're using that now as a method because they don't have enough test kits. So that's why the number is so high. And you can come down here. You see Hong Kong 53 and stuff. So there's the other places. We'll talk about the ship in Japan as well that has tons of cases on it. But you can see in Hubei province there's now almost 50,000 cases. So that went way up because of their new system. Actually, it might be right here. See if they... Why is this not? I'll see if that loads. But that's why there's so many cases. So we're going to get an update hopefully around like 5:15 with new numbers. And we'll have to see what happens. So for right now, the update's going to be here. This is where the update's going to come first. Yeah, there's nothing about it yet. Ooh, look, Texas reports its first case of coronavirus. We're going to now get into some live updates, I think. Because not only have I not looked about this a lot, but I haven't streamed about it in the last few days, so there's a lot of stuff to get into. Oh yeah, here it is. Let's see, translate. See, look at this. With the deepening understanding of the new coronavirus, yeah, conducted investigations on suspected cases and revised diagnosis results. Newly diagnosed patients were re-diagnosed with the new diagnosis, which is a CT scan. And that's why the numbers have gone up. Hubei province will include the number of clinically diagnosed cases into the number of confirmed cases. So the ones with the CT scan that, you know, probably not like 100%, but probably almost there, they're just going to add those in now. So that's what's going on with the new numbers. So let's get into some updates. California patient is very good. Oh, patients are in very good and fair condition. Yeah, I mean, there haven't been many more cases in the U.S. I mean, we just heard about the one in Texas, so we really want to focus on more China news. Look at this, though. Weeks into coronavirus, CDC is still not invited to China. Nearly 6 weeks after the CDC first offered to help, the offer has not been accepted. So that's something going on where China just won't let organizations come in. The letter has not been responded to yet by the official government. And CDC director said the virus can be spread by people who are asymptomatic. Which it looks like there has been, but there's been some debate over. Look at this. U.S. health official expects the virus to be around beyond this season and beyond this year. We were hearing that it might become just like a usual like seasonal bug kind of thing. This virus will become a community virus at some point in time, this or next year. We don't have any evidence that it's embedded in the community at this time. Well, obviously, because it hasn't had enough time to spread that far yet to become something like a seasonal like bug, you know, that people can just get maybe in the winter or whatever. Yeah, so the changes, this is saying that these changes are only in China and that other countries won't be using the same technique. And as we said, the real name of this, I should put it somewhere in the description, is COVID-19. That's going to be that's the official name of the virus now. Look at this. A Taiwanese student said her London Airbnb was canceled over coronavirus years. She hasn't been to China in years. Taiwanese PhD student says she feels discriminated against after a London Airbnb host canceled her booking last minute. Yale student traveled from Taiwan to London to conduct research. She received a cancellation when she was about to arrive. So there's some instances of that. Okay, symptoms. We should probably talk about this because we haven't talked about symptoms since like I started streaming at the beginning. Mild to moderate upper respiratory tract illness, similar to a common cold, runny nose, cough, sore throat, headache, maybe fever, which can last a couple of days. For those with a weakened immune system, the elderly and the very young, there's a chance it could be a lower respiratory illness that's much more serious and lead to pneumonia. So that's why there's speculation, there's like all these mild cases that they just haven't really found yet, because to a lot of people this isn't that big of a it's not a huge virus it's more like a cold. So I think that's also complicating the numbers as well. Yeah, and we heard there was just a new case in Texas at this Air Force place where I think they were quarantining people. Europe could consider border closings. Yeah, but we were talking about the new means of how they're talking about cases. So it'll be interesting to see in like 20 minutes when the new update comes out, if it's still really high or not. So here's the cases in the U.S., but there hasn't been that much of a rise. Yeah, I want to see if there's anything here about the ship. And yeah, someone did die in Japan who was not aboard the cruise ship. So this person who died in Japan was not on the cruise ship. I'm looking for cruise ship stuff. Oh, here's the cruise ship. Let's see how many people are. To date, a total of 175 people on the ship are infected. Look, the crew is at greater risk. We saw this in another stream. because the crew wasn't quarantined at all. They continued to work, and there was no quarantine for them. So 175 people have the virus on that one ship docked in Yokohama, Japan. Let's look at another one of these. Japan's first fatality, and that was not someone on the ship. We talked about that. Talked about that. But look, experts warn that until China reveals more about the new testing process, it will be difficult to assess what this new data means. Let's look at this. The economic casualties from China's coronavirus epidemic, as Asian and European auto plants run short of parts, free spending Chinese tourists stay home, and American companies brace for turbulence. This is just the start of a financial hangover. The Chinese epidemic's after effects will likely cause the global economy to shrink this quarter for the first time since the 2009 financial crisis. Chinese factories have been scheduled to reopen February 10, but that's been extended. Many workers are unable or unwilling to return. Yeah, and we were talking about this in other streams, just like even anywhere, even restaurants or small businesses people own. You know, the employees can't get money. They're not bringing in money, the owners. So huge financial problems for I mean, more in China, but, you know, this stuff can spread all over. Let's look at this. Oh, I just want to show you this first. No, this. Remember, guys, you can write questions and stuff in the chat. Let's see, is there any... I doubt the update is out yet. Make sure this... Okay. I just want to make sure that my phone is updating. Looks good. Ook. What is this? I wonder if they're retweeting stuff about the virus. So no update yet. I wanted to show you this. And this is a really good site, this Worldmeter, because you can go like this, and this is a great representation, guys, of that spike yesterday in cases with the new diagnosis they're using. Up, 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 goes up more, you know, going up pretty steadily. Started a little downward slope, and then look, boom, 44 to 60. So we'll have to see what happens today. And look at the daily new cases. Goes up, it looks like it's going down, and then boom, up with that new way of testing people. Look, you can see all the graphs show it. 34% change. So it'll be interesting to see today's. And look, 255 deaths yesterday, plus in Japan too. And there's like one in Japan. 255 in China, one in Japan. And this will update once we get the new numbers pretty quickly too, so that'll be good. So let's look at this. The Guardian, their live updates. Yeah, it was caused by a change in the way Chinese authorities were counting them. Let's see. Adding to the impact the virus is having on business, we have the story about a disruption to a key motor show. The spread of the disease has already forced the cancellation of the Mobile World Congress. a tech fair in Barcelona that's been expected to host more than 100,000 delegates from 200 countries. So even these big exhibitions that are going on in like Europe and stuff, where lots of people would be coming from China and the region, lots just aren't going on, which is a huge economy thing there. Yeah, so Japan's first case was this woman in her 80s, and they were not on the ship. Which has 175 cases right now, that ship. We're talking U.S. case on that base in Texas. There are now 15 cases in the United States. Look at this. The Catholic Diocese in Hong Kong has announced masses will be suspended 2 weeks. Here's the city's 400,000 strong Catholic community not to panic. No surprise there. Here is a nurse cleaning a, I don't know, is that part of like a store or is that like a hospital? Yeah, that's a hospital. What is this? Stormzy rescheduled the Asian leg of his Heavy is the Head tour. I don't know who that is. British rapper, it says. That's a whole nother thing. How about like music and stuff that was supposed to go on? I'd assume most people would have to cancel that as well. Dozens of people in Britain are celebrating the end of their 2-week quarantine today. Look at that. Ooh, look at this. The first person to be diagnosed in London traveled to a nearby hospital in an Uber after falling ill. She did not arrive by ambulance or private vehicle. So is that saying she took an Uber to the hospital after she had the disease? I guess so. That was from yesterday. Let's see if there's anything else interesting. And then we're going on Snapchat and we're going to check Weibo quickly. And I was hearing that more places are on lockdown too in China, more cities. Let's do one more page of this. Have you looked into the Tencent? I don't know if you mean the leak. The leak. Are you talking about the leak where it was like there were like thousands of deaths and stuff like, or I haven't really looked into it. I want to stay more with the credible stuff. Obviously, I think it's almost a guarantee that the cases are a lot higher than they say, even because just mild cases where people don't go to the hospital and stuff. But yeah, I'll look into it at some point. But I haven't, because of school and all this stuff going on, I haven't really had time to look into this much, other than like the numbers and the big updates and stuff. So let's see what anything else in here. And this is now called COVID-19, by the way. The virus, that's its new official name. So let's look at Weibo first and see if there's anything. I kind of doubt there will be, but can links be put in the chat? if you want to try to put a link in the chat, I don't really know how it. I don't know how it works, but it should. If you put it in, I think it should work. There was a bot that there's a bot I have in the chat, and it kept blocking everything. So I disabled those features. So if you want to try the link, you can. Anything in here that would be at all interesting? What is this? Why is this not loading? This was good for like 1 day at the beginning of the virus, and now it's just not really useful anymore. Let's check SnapMap. A few days ago when we were streaming, there was actually a few things on Snapchat. Now, obviously, I think, you know, Snapchat is blocked there, but there are a few people. You'll see, like, there'll be like maybe like 1 or 2 posts from today in Wuhan. That doesn't really show anything, but definitely has to do with the virus. I think this is more to just be funny. But it looks like he is in Wuhan. Yeah, this was a while ago. I remember seeing this when we were streaming the other day. That shows you how little Snapchat videos there are. A few days ago, we saw these great videos of like the streets and a guy at like a supermarket. It was great. Here's the streets. Well, this is 2 days ago, but you know, it's the best we can do. See some people in masks. Definitely looks kind of pretty deserted. This is a guy on a motorcycle. I mean, look, that's a huge highway. You see like 3, 4 cars. Same thing, kind of hard to tell. Looks like a smaller street. Well, so some stuff. Yeah, there's not much else. Didn't expect much. What is this? This is 16 hours ago. Wuhan shopping. Of course, I don't know what he's saying. But I assume, yep, mask on. I assume this is like shopping during the virus. So that was something. But you can see there's barely anything on the map. So, well, there you go. We looked at some Snapchats. Let me see if this is updated. I hope this update actually comes out on time. Yesterday it came out really late, but I think it was just because it was that first day they were doing it differently. If it doesn't come out, I'll have to come off the air and then go live again when it does come out. But I'm hoping it comes out at the normal time. Yeah, this hasn't updated either. Okay. Actually, we're looking at this. This is where the numbers will first come in. Now, what time is it in China? 6:06 a.m. Okay. I just want to show you where this is all going down. So this started in Wuhan, China, which is in Hubei. Here's Hubei province. That's the province where a bunch of cities are locked down. And then here's Wuhan where it started. So that's where it started. And, you know, it spread. A lot of these provinces along the coast and kind of north and right south of Hubei are where the most cases are. And then there's obviously the ship in Japan with all the cases there. So that's kind of a quick overview. Actually, if you look here, what is that? The Wuhan. I forgot about this site. I had been using this site before. I put link in last video's comments. Okay, I will look at that. It says links can't be put in the chat. I'll have to work with the chat more and see what can be done and what can't. But thank you for letting me know. Yeah, let's look at this. So here's the world, and here's the countries with cases. So still none in Mexico, kind of Central America, the Caribbean, South America, Africa, most of the Middle East. I mean, there's 8 in the UAE, but otherwise there's none in the Middle East. And then you get to India, you get some, Nepal 1. Interesting, there's none yet in Mongolia. I know they shut the border, but that's kind of, I mean, that's right next to China, and they don't have any yet. So we'll have to see what happens with that. What is this, like Kazakhstan or something? None. As I said, most of the Middle East, none. Australia, and then like all these like Polynesian islands down here, like Papua New Guinea and stuff, and part of Indonesia. There's none there either. So this looks pretty close to how it did the other day when we looked at it. So we'll have to see if that changes. Actually, well, Mexico does have it. I can look up. I know there were suspected cases in Mexico. Yeah, I mean, this says 11 turned out negative, so I don't know. Officially, there aren't any, but who knows? At least with this map. But that's a good... And then France has 11. How much does the UK have? 9. Germany, 16, because it was a super spreader. Spain has 2, none in Portugal. So it really seems like the big concentration is still in kind of Hubei province, China, and the rest of mainland China. Because I mean, in the U.S., I mean, we grew 3 cases in 2 weeks. So Canada has 7. So there's not this huge amount of this coming out of China, but there's this big, increase is still in China. What's this? Oh, that's like Southeast Asia. Yeah, we talked about that. So what would that be? Yeah, Indonesia and like Papua New Guinea, there's none. So we'll have to see if that fills in. There are some in Australia, though. Let's see if we have an update. I don't know what the... Yeah, we still don't know the whole thing about... I don't know if people who aren't from Asia have been... what's it called? Infected. I can't even think. I don't know. I've looked it up. Can't really find anything on it. I assume it's just, as I said, like the numbers outside. Most people were coming from China and stuff to these other countries to have it, so it would be kind of rare for some non-Asian to actually get it, unless they were in China and had got it. So we'll have to see what happens with that. Let me see if I go... No, I'll stay on this. We're waiting for the new update. Hopefully it will come out soon, but there's a chance it may be late, again, like yesterday. Let's see if we can find any more updates on these websites. Okay, we saw that. How about this? Oh, I want to check South China Morning Post. South China Morning Post is a good Chinese source, and the site is very easy to understand. Especially if they have their own English site, so you don't have to translate anything. Topic: coronavirus. Let's see what they have in here while we wait for this new what's it called? Geez, I can't think today. New numbers to come out. Okay, this trick is done. Anything we haven't seen? Yeah, let's look at this. We were talking about this earlier. This mobile phone company exhibition that stopped. This year's exhibition of MWC Barcelona, the world's biggest mobile industry gathering, has been canceled. Some of the largest participants have been Nokia, AT&T, some of these other phone companies. Other companies have dropped out, though. Look at that. Look, it comes just days after they told participants that it would go ahead as planned. So that is not going on. As well as probably tons of other kind of big exhibition stuff. Here, let's look at this. And let me just check and make sure there's no new cases. Okay, nothing's been out yet. Ooh, look at this. Evacuated from Wuhan. So countries have been taking planes and chartering people out of Wuhan. So here's the numbers. 213 have gone back to Australia, 56 to Italy, 83 to the UK, 540 to the US, 701 to South Korea, 244 to France, almost 200 to Canada. So that's kind of a visual look at people who have come out. What is this? This is the first imported case versus the first local commission. Is that like when it was transmitted human to human? So you can see like pretty big wide margin in some of these, but maybe 2 weeks in others. This is stuff about the masks. This is actually a pretty nice site right here. Yeah, and obviously, as we talked about, this has far surpassed the SARS death count at this point. Look, where did the 5 million Wuhaners go? About 5 million residents left Wuhan before the city went into lockdown. So I think, most kind of went to neighboring provinces and stuff. Others went further over. But that was kind of this big exodus before they locked Wuhan down. And it was Lunar New Year, so some people were leaving anyway. Okay, so this just goes on and on and on, but it's a good visual representation. Now let's see if we have new case. No new cases yet. See if some
like 6 feet apart from each other when they're out on deck.
I just want to see if I can find some tweets from news stuff about this. Okay, that's all that stuff. Okay. I was trying to also follow some like sites for just a virus, but most of them don't really post much. So let's go back to BNO. BNO newsroom. See how long. Okay. We're waiting for an update on the case numbers, and it'll be interesting to see, because yesterday we had this huge jump in cases because they started their criteria changed. So we'll have to see if that was more of a one-day thing where they were adding all these from before with the criteria changing that they had to add in, or if it's still going to go up and up by these, like over 10,000 things a day. So we'll have to see, but we're waiting for new numbers. Waiting for new numbers. If they're not out, they may be coming out late because the other ones yesterday came out late, but that I assume that's just because they did it a different way. If that still happens, they didn't come out yesterday until like, I don't know, 7 o'clock at least. If that does happen, I'll have to get off and maybe come back on again, but we'll give it some time because I really want to see this new update on here. Let me just check one thing on my phone. Sorry I have to use my phone. I upgraded my computer. I tried this thing, and it just wasn't worth the money, so I returned it. But now I'm back to my computer. It does this thing where it just turns off by itself. So I'm using it differently. So I don't have my second screen right now. But I will get it set up again. I've just kind of been in this thing where I'm kind of in the middle of kind of setting up the computer. But so sorry I have to keep looking down at my phone, but I will change. That will be changing. I'm just looking at this. Okay, let me get the chat back up. So we're waiting for the new updates to come out. Let me see what. Hold on a sec. Okay, that's not for me. Sorry about that. Once the updates come out, I will change that graphic that's on the screen to the new numbers. Now we play the waiting game. I want to stay on here because I assume at any time now it's going to come out. Let's see what else they've said. Look at this. North Korea says the quarantine period has been extended to 30 days. Now, who knows what's going on in North Korea with this virus? I'd be very... I wouldn't be shocked at all if they have some cases but just won't announce anything about them. But look at that. Quarantine period to be extended to 30 days. Ooh, look at this. I don't even want to attempt to say that. But this province next to where Wuhan is, this is part of Huanggang is the city next to Wuhan. Issued $71 for anyone who reports someone suffering from fever. So basically, they're giving rewards to people who could, have the virus. So maybe you go, to like I know people aren't traveling, but maybe you go to like friend's house or something or whatever, and you notice they have a fever, and then you go home and report them and get a quick $70. So that's going on too. Let's see if there's an update. Nope. Ooh, I wonder if it's not coming out early today. Look at this. There are more than 500 international cases now. This is a good thing. I'm just going to keep going down here and looking, and then I'll routinely look and see if there's the update. This is the update from yesterday, kind of this area. Yeah, this is when they were talking about yesterday's update and the new way of doing it. See if they have anything else interesting, though. Schools in Hong Kong will remain closed until at least March 16th. I mean, who knows, what these schools will do once they're back in. I mean, whether kids going to miss like 3 months of school or they're going to have to make up, like, who knows, but school and work, everything is being messed up by this. Yeah, this is yesterday when they were talking about how late it is. Hopefully, it's not that late today. Let me just do this. Boom. As we await the new number of cases. Still not here. This is getting a little bit... Any here? Nope. Hopefully they'll actually come out pretty soon. And it's not like yesterday. But if not, we had a good stream anyway, and I'll update you when those come out. But hopefully we can see them. There's the Huanggang right there we were just talking about, where they'll give $71 to people who report someone with a fever. And you know what I want to check also? Let's go on flight radar Wuhan. Okay. Let's look at the plane situation, because most flights have still been flying within China. So let's see how that is. I haven't checked this in a really long time. Let's go back. Okay, here's the airport. Arrivals. 16% canceled. So that's higher than like a while ago. 13% canceled for departures. So there are some flights that are canceled, but still many are going. Look, I mean, these are going within China, and all of them are still scheduled. Well, some are fewer canceled, but lots are scheduled. So this one going to Shanghai was canceled. It looks like the Shanghai ones are canceled. But look, all these other things. Ooh, Beijing canceled too. Actually, there's definitely a lot more cancellations here than before. But still, all these planes are, look, scheduled. If we go here and we go to like Beijing or Shanghai. %. So it's around like 15% of flights are canceled within China. But still, of course, there's tons go. I mean, look, if you just look at this and you see all the planes in the sky. Let's wait for this to load. I mean, definitely I'd say not. I can see that there's definitely, I mean, look at this. See, look at all the ones here, but then less here. I don't know how it normally is, but yes, there are some cancellations, but yes, lots of planes are still flying. How much, things at the airport they have to screen? Who knows? Let's go back here. So that's the airport situation. No new update yet. Oh no, I'm on the wrong side. I want this. They'll do it here first. Oof. Almost 5:30 and no update. Okay. We'll have to see if this update's actually coming. I wonder if I should leave this up and then just come back. I'm going to stay on for like another 8 minutes or something at least. What I may do is just have to leave the stream running and then come back on when the update is out. Because at this point, I don't know if it's coming out anytime soon. I was hoping this didn't happen, though. Okay, no update. Okay, this has a new update. Let's look at this. Okay, that's just about, they're going to be live. Do any of these, does the Guardian have any updates? I like this one the best. It's very easy to read. Newest. Nope. They like take big breaks and stuff, so it's a really nice thing, but sometimes they'll break for like 20 hours or whatever, and then it's like you don't really have updates. Oh, I want to look at this, Al Jazeera. This is, I think, I don't know where this is, but it's somewhere in the Middle East it's from. But they have their live kind of update like this. They do it by days. World Health Organization, no major change in trajectory of the outbreak. Now, who knows? That's what they say. 15th case in the U.S. Most of the stuff we've seen. And Hong Kong is also only letting essential vehicles on the road, so you just can't, drive, I guess. Apple to reopen some stores in Beijing tomorrow, or which is today in China. So not a ton here, but very easy to read. When are we going to get this update? What time zone are you in? Sorry, I hadn't seen the chat. I was on something else. I'm in Eastern time. Eastern U.S. time. But see, it had been coming out around 5:15. But then yesterday it was later because they changed the format. So I'm thinking it might be later again. So, well, let's give it another minute till 5:30. I was really hoping that they would come out. Alright, so you know what I'm going to do, guys? I think this is the best thing. I'm going to leave this updating itself. Let's do like... Actually, let's do like 45 seconds. I'm going to let this site update itself and just leave it up here. And I'll turn like the mic off, I guess. And then if soon it comes on, I'll come right back on and give the update. So I think that's what I'll do. Let me change. Let me take this picture off this thing, because that's 5:15 has passed. But that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to leave this page updating, and I'll come back on soon. Hopefully we'll get the update soon. I really thought it would be out by now. But I'm going to leave this updating itself. I'm going to leave the mic. I'm going to turn the mic off. So sorry. I think we got through a lot of stuff, went through the big updates. I really wish this update would come out early today. Looks like it may be really late. So I'm going to monitor this. I will leave this page updating for you guys. And if we get this update soon, I will come right back and we will analyze it for you on the air. So thank you for watching Ben's Weather Tech and Adventures. Subscribe for more live streams on this. We'll definitely be doing a ton. But I'll leave this on for you guys, and I'll come right back if we get new numbers.